quantity. We'll probably see some fighting from him. Slavik Piscourse is behind Jonathan Wilson. We've got Jonathan Wilson in 6th place, and he was NRG sprint champion last year, so he's going to be quick. Slavik Piscourse, Damien Smith, Benjamin Gallagher, Dane Christensen to round him out. So, on to the start now. Sam Shaw, a very good start, and he's got Reese Westwood going with him. Reese Westwood, he'll see this a good chance to get some big points. Richie Clark, Nadia Balnegra in 4th. They're maintaining position going round, but already building up a little bit of a lead is Sam Shaw. Sam Shaw, he's got Reese Westwood going with him, and there's a bit of a gap there to Richie Clark. So Richie Clark maybe not quite the start he was looking for. He's got Nadia Balnegra behind him, but here they come through to the finish line to complete the first lap. It is Sam Shaw, Reese Westwood in 2nd, and then of course Richie Clark. And look at Sam Shaw go. To be honest, Anthony, this is another of the better starts, shall we say. Obviously, it's very important when a driver gets on the throttle to make that start. The second place driver, it's all on them to kind of second guess that and go with them. And unfortunately, the loser there was Richie Clark, who probably got a bit caught on the hop.
Yeah, it is one of those things. The starts may look simple and easy, but they're actually very, very difficult. You need to essentially super glue your front bumper to the driver in front's rear bumper all the way through that first one, and then you can get that jump into the snail section, like we saw in the previous race with Daniel Truman. So, you know, one of those things where unfortunately in this race, quite separated, quite spread out, not as aggressive as we've seen from other groups.
Absolutely, it's kind of settled start here, but it's going to be cagey. Whenever you've got a race where someone like Slavik Piscourse is down in 7th place, into the pits is Slavik Piscourse. Very early stopper.
Yeah, he's got a camera on his head, which is good because he's usually one of the cameramen for Alpha Life. So not this time around. He's racing, and he gets 1 green light. He gets 2 green lights. He's back out on track, but a shake of the head. Not happy with this pit stop.
No, so this time, instead of being the cameraman for Alpha Life, he's a cameraman for Slavik Piscourse. Probably see his footage up on YouTube. Just looking up on YouTube there, you'll get the onboard. An invalid stop. It's been deemed invalid, so that was what all the shaking of the head was about. Now, this is bad. I was saying early on that any race where Slavik Piscourse, someone like, and into the pits, talk us through this one.
Yeah, we've got the number 20 and the number 18. Unfortunately for the number 8 of Dane Christensen, he's got caught up there behind Benjamin Gallagher there. Very bad stop actually for the number 8. It was a good stop for the 20, but Dane Christensen, he didn't stop before the lights, and the light didn't actually turn on, so a very bad stop.
Absolutely a complete exercise in experience there. Dane Christensen was committed to making the pit stop and ended up coming too close to Ben Gallagher. Actually had to wait that bit longer, so he had a longer pit stop. Slavik Piscourse, of course, I think he was going to come straight in, you know, and thought the better of it when he saw them in the pits. There's the difference of experience. Of course, the key thing for Piscourse is he knows he's got that extra pit stop to make. So right now, he's just got to be as fast as he can. If he can create twice invalid stops, that number 8, that of course is Dane Christensen. So you're going to see Christensen in the game. Sorry, carry on.
So a quick one on the screen. The number 8 that came in, 2 invalid pit stops. He's got to come in another 2 times.
That's a very harsh penalty. Do we know quite what caused such a harsh penalty?
Well, I was speaking and it looked okay, but apparently he just drove straight through the lines. I mean, the light didn't go on, so he then just drove straight through it, and then he came to the second one. The light's not come on. He's not come up soon enough. You got to get a bit closer. You got to get a bit closer. They go, no, don't drive through. No, that's another one. Oh dear. That's another invalid pit stop for him.
Well, yeah. The thing is, in the pit stop, it's the clues in the title, really, isn't it? Stop. So
it is a bit.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Dane there, that's going to shove him down the order. Clearly, just not his pit stop. You've got another one in though.
Yes, it is the number 11 that's coming to the pit lane. This is Matthew West. Good first gate, stops, crucially, gets the green light, comes to second gate, red light comes on, green light comes on, comes back out, just behind the number 8.
That's it, Dane Christensen. Dane Christensen has actually just leapfrogged Matt West there. Now, Matt West is one of the drivers in this race who could do something. He's running behind, well, he's got penalties all around him because he's running behind Dane Christensen, but ahead of Slavik Piskor's on track. Now, obviously, he doesn't want to waste time with people who he will feel he has no real business having around him because their drivers under penalties, are they going to fight him, etc. Now, he's got enough of a lead over Slavik Piskor's, but Slavik Piskor's got his own race to drive. He's getting the blue flags out for Dane Christensen. Now, is Christensen going to move out of the way? Christensen hasn't got out of the way yet, but it may well happen on the back straight. Here comes West down the inside. So West moves ahead, and there he is in the red suit on screen. So that's Matt West that we're talking about. Now, Matt West, as I say, is one of the drivers who could do something in this race. We're looking to move ahead in his position and his points tally. He will have seen this race as probably one of his better opportunities to score. While all the pit lane shenanigans are going on, something happened up front. Sam Shaw continues with the lead, but a gap has opened up. And now there is a three-way fight over second place, potentially a four-way fight, because Reece Westwood has fallen into the clutches of Richie Clark and Nadia Balnega, both very competitive drivers. Closing on a lot of them is Jonathan Wilson in 5th place, so that is definitely something to look out for. Now on the backstretch we've got that lead for into the corner there. That is the lead of Shaw. Now here is that battle I've been on about. And there is Westwood, there is Clark, there is Balnega, and bring them up now in contact with them is Jonathan Wilson in 5th place.
I've got to say, Reece Westwood here, I think he's slightly struggling where he is. He's been hitting this final barrier out of the final corner nearly every lap, and he's losing so much momentum in the fastest section.
Absolutely, because that is full throttle from that corner, through the left, across the line, through the right, into the Snell section, and then braking for hairpin. So that is a large portion of full throttle that you really won't want any loss of momentum on. Now, the interesting question here, lots of experience in these international championships. Nadia Balnega, she is 3rd in that group, 4th on the track. Will she be the one to come in the pits? If she can see that Westwood is starting to be the bit of a logjam, she will be the first one in the pits. The question, of course, is Richie Clark too. Is he going to see a clean pass on Reece, or is he going to try and pit stop as well?
Well, I don't know Richie Clark's experience here. I've got no information about him, so you know, I would think maybe he could have tunnel vision right now, and it's super glued and it dives to the inside. Yeah, very robust.
Nadia Balnega takes the momentum as well through past Reece Westwood, who has lost 2 places. In fact, he's lost 3, because down the inside comes Jonathan Wilson in the Snail. In the Snail section there, Jonathan Wilson sends it up the inside of Reece Westwood. Poor old Reece Westwood, 2nd to 5th. Who says he can't overtake an indoor karting? He's been bundled down the order. Nadia Balnega down the inside, possibly of Richie Clark. Now, and a move there, very robust. Reece Westwood has been... yes, he has. He's moved up ahead. He went down the inside Jonathan Wilson and it came off. But it was a pretty pushy move there, that's what we said. Anyhow, so Sam Shaw continues in the lead. Richie Clark versus Nadia Balnega. Now, surely Nadia, with her experience, will be looking at Clark. Not a driver she'll know. There's a warning flag gone out to somebody, I assume Reece Westwood.
It was, yeah. Seems a little unfair, the fact that he got absolutely pummeled going into the final corner and he gets the warning.
Yes, it all depends on your definition of contact, I think.
Well, yeah.
Pummeled is correct. I would raise that to slammed at the end of the long backstretch, Reece Westwood. So somebody was going to get a flag somewhere, and I think the most robust of a series of robust moves was the Westwood move. Luckily, it was only a warning, so
yeah, exactly. Take it on the chin.
So from Reece's point of view, it's 100% worth it. Anyhow, Sam Shaw, we know, is continuing to lead. Sam Shaw, he, as I say, semi-finalist last year. He's got forward in the pits. It's Reece Westwood.
It is indeed Westwood. I think it's time for his pit stop. He thinks I'm getting battered and bruised out there. Let's just bring it in. Good first gate. No dramas there whatsoever. Stops perfectly for gate number 2. Gets away, and it's a good stop. Now,
he was used behind Slavik Piskor's, and the interesting thing there, Slavik Piskor's is back up in that 7th place that we saw before the pit stop that he made that didn't really work out. Now, by my reckoning, Slavik Piskor's still has to make that penalty pit stop.
Yes, he does. Number 12's in the pit lane as well now, so Jonathan Wilson, good first gate, comes to gate number 2. It's good gate number 2. He comes back out behind, also Slavik.
Yes, now he probably will not be aware that Slavik Piskor's has to take a penalty pit stop.
Just quickly, James, sorry, I've just seen come up on the digiboard there, black flag for number 16.
16, that
Reece
is,
Westwood.
of course, Reece Westwood. Oh dear me, that has gone even worse. Now Westwood's running on his own. Do we feel that's for something in addition? Oh, it's a pit stop, right?
Yeah, the number 14 in the pit lane, Damien Smith, good first gate, comes to gate number 2, and it's a good gate number 2. The 16 is in the pit lane serving his black flag.
And that looks like a disqualification or retirement.
No, I think he's just got to do another pit stop. I'm not too sure. They are sending him back through. There's a bit of
the black flag was to basically call him in for a penalty pit stop.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's taken that as a complete disqualification. Pulled off to the right, and it's got a bit awkward.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was car racing, a black flag, yeah, you pack up, you go home. In karting, a little bit more lenient, just do another pit stop.
Yeah, Reece Westwood there. It's going to be a shame for him. He's going to be mighty disappointed with this. He started second and was running really strong early on. And Reece Westwood there, he's resumed. Well, we've got him listed as 9th. Obviously, Dane Christensen had even more problems in the pits than Reece Westwood. But Reece Westwood, of course, will probably see this as a bit of a race that got away. It's just very tough. I mean, the standard and the tightness of the competition means that we've seen pit lane errors every race so far.
Yep, and in talking of pit lane, our top 3, 1, 2, 3, are our last drivers to pit.
Yeah, now this is very interesting. We've got Sam Shaw, who has the speed to maintain the lead. He's the fastest on the track so far. We've got Richie Clark, relatively unknown to us, who's actually doing a great job in second place. Nadia Balnega, who everybody knows, is in third place and has a vast amount of experience. So if on paper you would have to say the person with the most experience of this form of
Sam Shaw in the pit lane, sorry James.
The race leader.
Yep, race leader in the pit lane. Second and third are coming around the final corner now. They are going to get past, but crucially they have not done a pit stop. So Sam Shaw there is your current race leader, even despite the fact he's in third.
Absolutely. Now, Nadia Balnega had a good look there at the inside of Richie Clark. This has become the battle for the lead as a result of pit stop by Sam Shaw. But casting my mind back to a discussion with Sam Slater last night, he reckoned that 10.5 seconds is the pit stop time, the real pit stop time. So in other words, the lap you do when you make a pit stop will be 10.5 seconds slower. On that basis, Sam Shaw running on the tail of Nadia Balnega, who's having a look at the inside of Richie Clark. She's going to make it work, and she's on the inside. Clark protests a bit, and Clark's going to lose a place. No, he's battling side by side with Sam Shaw in the snail area there. Nadia Balnega has taken position on track now. I think that means we are going to see one heck of a late pit stop by Nadia. The Dutch lady will probably be a long time out on the track now before coming in the pits. So it's probably one of the latest pit stops we see so far in the tournament for heat race. Richard Clark probably do coming in now.
Yeah, he does. He dives straight in there after Sam Shaw gets past. It's gate number 1 is good. No problems there. Good stop at gate number 2. Rolls a little early. Gets the penalty. It's a penalty for him. Oh, dear me.
Yeah, this whole championship's coming down to anyone who can get through the pits without getting a penalty. It's been a real feature so far. We've never seen this many penalties in the pit lane, actually. This is almost getting out of hand.
Yeah, it is a little bit, isn't it? So we'll have to see him come in. Nadia is in the pit lane, comes to gate number 1, a little bit hesitant on gate 1 there, stops a little bit too early, comes to gate 2, again a little bit hesitant on the entry, gets the green light on both though, comes back out, and straight away Richie Clark back into the pit lane. It is good on gate number 1 this time around, comes to gate number 2, this is the one he failed at before, and it's good this time around, he's back out on circuit.
Very interesting there, Anthony. I mean, you'll have the best view of anybody on this where you are, but it's a pit stops coming to us. It's almost as if the kart could almost go through without actually stopping, but not quite.
Yes, you are right in saying we have seen that. Under investigation, number 21, Nadia Balnega there. Not quite sure what for, but we'll find that out. Slavak's in the pit lane. This is his penalty pit stop after he failed his first one. That's good. Green light on the first gate. Comes to gate number 2, and it's all good. He's back out on track. Yeah, essentially, you could come to a very gentle stop, keep it going just a fraction, and then keep the momentum going. If you mistime that, though, you will very easily get a penalty.
Absolutely. I've never driven in the BRKC myself in this format. I drove it in the previous format, but racing in the World Championships for a couple of years, I had to do pit stops in that. And it's a bit of a weird feeling, to be fair, because you feel sometimes when you make a stop that the kart's almost dead stopped, and other times you feel like, although you have stopped, you've got that bit more momentum. There's a very funny feeling about it.
It is. I mean, the fact that these cars, you know, they're single-engined, four-stroke Honda-powered engines, and when you come to a complete stop, they take a lot of oomph to get them going again. So if you can slow it down but not completely stop it, you'll get a much better go off the line. Absolutely, and that really explains why we're seeing people sort of as near as possible trying to roll through the pit lane, and hence it's so tight, so easy to get penalties. However, unless you're running at that point, you're not going to win anyway. You've got to be operating that sort of level, haven't you? Yeah, exactly. So it is just one of those fine lines, but like you said, we've had drivers all day try that tactic, and unfortunately it has resulted in several penalties, 3 alone in this race itself.
Now, we've got a very interesting situation in the results. We've got everybody's been in the pits now. We were waiting for those top 3. We've seen them all come in. The situation has resumed, but the beneficiary here, Matt West, he was the one who did we not see changing cars?
No, Matt West didn't change a kart.
Is it not him? Or was
no.
Am I getting beyond myself?
I think you're going a bit beyond yourself there. That was a race earlier on. But he did have a pit stop earlier on, and it was a very clean pit stop, I have to say.
Yes,
and he came out in clear traffic, so he's had no drama all this race, and it's worked out beautifully for him.
Indeed, and he's come steaming through, because he was nowhere near second place when the race started. Problems for others, some great driving by him. He's not the fastest, but he is second fastest, best lap in this race. Fastest is the incredible Sam Shaw, who's just raced away with this one. It was quite staggering when he came out. He was the first of the 3 leaders to make a pit stop, Sam Shaw. When he did come out, he was right behind the now battle for the lead, which had been second and third. So he'd done everything he needed to do just to create that space. He obviously had set some very quick laps when he was running on his own, and that was that. He's really got the job done by an incredible margin. I mean, he literally could make a pit stop if it was good and come back out still in the lead. Matt West is crossing the finish line now, but Sam Shaw is already exiting the snail section out towards the backstretch.
I think we should make Sam Shaw do another one. I think just for the sake of it, just make him do another pit stop, make it more exciting.
Well, nearly everyone else has had to do another pit stop in this race, so he'd probably feel left out if he doesn't. He's crossing the line now. We're going to give a bit of a visual on this. So he's crossing the line. There he is, crossing the line on the screen. So on the screen there, that was Sam Shaw. Now we're waiting for Matt West, who's second. There's Sam Shaw in the snail, and Matt West isn't even crossing the line yet. This is the biggest victory margin we've seen so far. There's Matt West in the red suit, so you can see that 11.5 seconds actually looks more on screen. There is Matt West. He's done everything right in this race. He's come right through the field to second place, and he's looking pretty good to stay there. Importantly, it's a question of who's behind him. The car behind him, and we're going to see on screen. So here comes Matt West into your picture now. There's Matt West. Now there is Nadia Balnega. Regular on the international scene. Nadia is going to be chasing Matt West down. She needs points more than third place if she wants to place in the final on this. But fourth place, after her is the incredible Jonathan Wilson. Jonathan Wilson's come steaming through. He's come to fourth place. We saw him closing in on that battle for second earlier on. He's come up to fourth. Damien Smith is in fifth. And Richie Clark, potentially the biggest loser in this, with a bundled pit stop. Sixth place for him. Ben Gallagher, seventh. Slavic Piscors, he's had to make 2 pit stops as well. It's very rare to be talking about Slavic Piscors down in 8th. We've seen him win the heat race here in the BRKC before. Reese Westwood, potentially the hardest luck element in this whole race. And then Dane Christensen is down in 10th place still. They're fairly spread out around the track, albeit in little groups, but spread from each other. So let's have a look down the back stretch. We can see we've already had Sam Shaw going. He's crossed the line. There goes Matt West. Here comes Nadia Balnega. Here comes Jonathan Wilson, evenly spaced. And then we're thinking about Damien Smith and Brett. So there's the start line there. So there's Matt West. He goes through. He's no way going to do better than second. But he may well have to find some rearguard action from Nadia Balnega. She appears to be closing in looks-wise, but they are matching each other for times. literally to the 100th on that last lap. So the best lap so far is for Sam Shaw, but Matt West and Nadia Balnega are matching each other for speed in the battle over second place. And we're very close to the final laps now. I would say this is pretty set as it is.
I think this is pretty set. Sam Shaw pretty comfortable, you know, like I say, he could do another pit stop. I might see if I can talk to race control, maybe get a black flag, make it a bit more exciting. We'll see, just to see if we can get another pit stop out of him. But yeah, like you say, he's catching up to some back markers now. He doesn't really need to overtake, he can just chill now to the end.
Well, such is his margin. If you did get your way and, you know, got him a penalty for something random, theoretically he can still win this race. He's got a lead of 12.6 seconds and we're banking on the idea of around 10.5, and that is according to Sam Slater, one of Britain's top drivers, so he's coming from a good source. Here comes the other Sam Shaw, to win this race. He has really thrown his name into the limelight on this. Yes, he was a semi-finalist last year, he was 26th overall, but he certainly isn't a name that's been on people's lips going into this event. But he has certainly, you know, he's thrown his hat in the ring on this one. This is the biggest victory we've seen, and that's including all the other top liners. Yes, there have been problems for other drivers, but you've still got the likes of Nadia Balnega, and I will include in the mix again Matt West. Just amazing performance, and there goes the victory there for Sam Shaw. Matt West, surely he's going to come around in a second. We're waiting for him. He is the question mark. Yes, he is. He's got a decent enough lead of Nadia Balnega. She can possibly challenge him from here. So, Matt West, Nadia Balnega, and then of course Jonathan Wilson, Richie Clark, Ben Gallagher, Damien Smith, Slavic Piscors down in 8th, Reese Westwood tumbles to 9th, Dane Christensen brings him around in 10th as the rest come through. Well, there's a big fist wave for Richie Clark. He's pretty pleased.